First of all, I want to thank Susie Ellis for the creation of the Global Wellness Institute, Nancy Davis for this summit. Their dedication to create this platform for the industry is invaluable. And what I'm going to talk about is the responsibility of this platform to the world and how I see that we could all change the world by our work. So first, a little bit of introduction myself. Family business, fourth generation, kind of a refugee from China, all over the place. But one of the things I want to share with you was my contemplation about sustainability, which led to the formation of East-West Center for Cultural Research in 1995. So my center has been looking at the nature of sustainability and how the human wisdom can help to a flourishing mankind. And family business, if you don't know, is very funny. That's where you know that what can hold it together is purpose and love. What can split it is power and money. So we do not find purpose and love, the family business cannot sustain, because money and power will tear it apart. And so as a fourth generation steward, I'm looking at, well, how can you sustain? Because I have this fear, since I'm the fourth generation, I would lose it all. So that prompted me to really look at the nature of how one can sustain. And of course, whether it's a family, whether it's society, we sustain the same way. So a lot of study has been done. We published so far 34 books. And the last book was called Quantum Leadership, which is really talking about the topic that we are in today, which is the new era has arrived and we need leadership to make it work. And that leadership is about creativity from inside deep into our purpose. Because with purpose comes inspiration, comes passion, comes love, comes great creativity. Without that, we cannot create in fear. So this book, although it's written for business, but actually can be used for all. So now I just want to share with you that why a new era is here already, and what is the leadership we need here to change the era. So era and change is like chicken and egg situation. Well, many of studies says that if 2% of the whole population, which we call the leadership, would tip over the 98%. 2% would change the paradigm and change the era, and 98%, the era would change you. So 2 enlightened percent would change, and 98 will be evolved by the leadership of this change. So why do I say there's a new era is here? I say that because this era is created, as people call industrial era. And we've already gone to the fourth industrial revolution of technology. But it's still one era. And what is the era industrialization? Production and consumption, and equipment doing our job. So from a steam engine, now to AI. It's almost done. And where does industrialization come from? Engineering. Where does engineering come from? Isaac Newton. Age of Enlightenment. Scientific revolution. But his world is one of deterministic, materialistic, and mechanistic. A new scientific revolution is happening right now. It's the quantum world. In the quantum world, everything is changing, it's holistic. In the quantum world, everything is perfect. The quantum world is really weird because you no longer can observe it empirically because it's so small you cannot see even with the equipment, and because when you watch it, the consciousness changes the results. Wow, that changes the whole thing of science. So we're now into a quantum scientific revolution, except we haven't felt it yet. And quantum technology theory is already applied in our daily life. It's in our handphones. It's in a high-speed train. not publicized. So we're already happening. Now, this quantum world, unlike the Isaac Newton world of determinism, it crosses between physics and metaphysics. In the quantum world, Aristotle survived. There's physics, and there's beyond physics, metaphysics. So there's a revolution going on without us knowing it. And there's also end of industrializations that we know that a machine will produce better than us in many services and products. And what will we do? And new economies to rise. Now back to the thing about what's happening. Well, we have a sustainability issue. Everybody's aware of the 17 sustainability goal. But that came from Millennium Goal, but nobody cares, which says we need a holistic solution. And this one said we need 17 item factors in the holistic solution. In fact, if you solve the 17th, all 16 will be solved. If you don't solve the 17th, none of the 16 will solve. It's called collaboration. And so in that movement has now identified with well-being on the provocation of a holistic approach. Now, people call it not quality set of life, it's quality of life, as our English friends would know their Cameron proposition of governance. But we're still controlled by economists that are neoclassical. Federal Reserve are still run by the same people, despite 2008's more credit. So the world needs a new paradigm. And in 2012, they started a whole new movement in the United Nations called Well-Being and Happiness, a New Paradigm for Economics. Except one sector of the economics controls the world. They still control the world, and they're very stubborn. And meantime, the world's already changing. Bhutan's avocation has impact. Never mind about people shifting its index matrix of thinking to gross national, to gross happiness index. UAE have a happiness minister, 2016. New Zealand joined a declaration that we use to have well-being as a governance. And then we have a well-being budget just this year. But there's a silent movement in China, which you have to go for me to tell you. That's the lure. There is a silent wellness revolution going on in China that is not showing up in the well-being industry yet, although we know it's the second biggest market. It's happening in the leadership of China. So, problem is, after 9 reports, or 7 reports this year, they only can say, well, you know, we have to create, the government has to set the parameters so that individual business and government operate, and we make them happy, they vote us in, and business have a new market, and man, it solves all the problem. New economy is solved, government is stable, voted in, and people are happy. That's all they found after 7 happiness reports. Problem is, what's well-being and happiness? You can't develop that matrix when you don't know what you developed the matrix in. The same thing with business. Oh, we're going to run the corporate social responsibility. And now, just last month, a little bit more than a month, August 29th, the American top 500 company gets together and say, hey man, I'm going to redefine wellness. I'm going to redefine purpose of business. It's about serving the American people. It's about putting shareholders as one of the ecosystem of stakeholders. That we need a holistic understanding, systemic approach, which is the advocacy of conscious capitalism. So everybody's moving to find holism, but nobody knows what holism means and how to do anything about holism, including Bhutan. He developed a 33 index, 9 modular, 4 level measurement. And with a Buddhist background, you figure they will figure it out? No. They hired the same economists to help them develop the matrix. And the result is they load really low on the happiness world scale. And the Norwegians are up there. All right, back to the industry. And I first joined this wellness, there was a report came up. Anyway, we don't know what definition of wellness is. And that was like in Bali years ago. And now, yeah, we know something about wellness. They have this faculty. We've studied the history of how wellness come. It's become from a very big to a smaller and smaller, but I know we have to look at individual wellness, spiritual wellness, financial wellness. Well, that's not wellness. This is our desire that these things have to be well. But what is wellness? The world is now needs somebody to define wellness, because everybody wants a holistic wellness, systemic holistic wellness. People are waking up that I cannot be well until the environment we live in is well. That's good. But what is well-being? Well, you don't know what well-being is when you don't know what human life is. And you don't know what human life is unless the environment of the cosmos that human life lives in understand this relationship. We cannot have systemic approach if we do not have holistic understanding. And the holistic understanding is inside us. Until we experience oneness ourselves with our mind, body, spirit, how do we express a systemic toolbox of fixing the world holistically? So unless we go on a journey ourselves, well, there is this industry. This industry can save the world because the world's in a crossroad. They want it. They need it. They're desperate for it. They're grasping for a solution for it. I printed a book, Quantum Leadership, and it's just out in July for business because I'm a business. I know they're not bad people. I'm not bad people. Just misguided and ignorant people. So if somebody to bring Friedman, he said it, invisible hand, no, free market, self-interest, whatever. What we need is consciousness capitalism. As Einstein said, you raise your consciousness and you solve the problem. You cannot solve the problem we created with the same level of thinking. Neoclassical economists with 130 years of scholarship will not change. They cannot solve the problem they created. So for our own sake, for the industry, we have to solve the human problem of defining what well-being is. We have to go on the journey ourselves when we not know what well-being is. And for the industry people, I urge you to be you. And this is our responsibility to help the individual to understand. Yes, we have now taken some Eastern wisdom, do a little yoga, do a little qigong, do a little meditation, but that is not it. It's not fashion. It's not a headache pill. Well-being is an alignment unification process. It's a journey, not a destination. It's a worldview. It's a practice. It's a way of relating, especially inside ourselves. The journey to well-being is to listen your body through your heart and feel it and not listen to your mind. But your thought is fickle and lies, but your body cannot. This is the journey, totally different with a different paradigm. Until we experience it, we cannot understand quantum science. We cannot understand quantum science because quantum science discovered inside us. In the smallest place in us found the universe of truth. So we don't go in to find that truth. We'll never understand what quantum science paradigm is. So there is one chance. And that one chance is people change the paradigm. And then the new era of well-being arise. That we will have economics redefine well-being from the current well-being of per capita income and financial stability. And from there, you can a schooling system never teach us how to live. It teaches how to make a living. Now you go to that school, then you go to that school, and then you get that professional, and then you have a career, and then you have a good life. And then we found out that's not true. Not true. And so the whole system is a problem, but we need leadership, and particular leadership here, because we help people awaken. Because well-being is an awakening process to your journey through your heart. It's an alignment. It's a unification of your mind, body, spirit, and its relational expression to the outer world. And you know, the Chinese throw away all that. After 25 years of research, I found a lot of material that we can revitalize, and China is revitalizing culture. And the quantum science, there's a lot of new science of epigenetics. So that's what my research does in OCTAVE Institute. I'm working on a few books, in particular this book, which is in line with our, at one festival, the Conference on Life Science, Integrated Medicine, and also healthcare. We do all that. We do education. We have integrated medicine clinic. We have every aspect of unification and detox and replenishment. And more important, we help you set up your consciousness and learn various toolbox in life. OCTAVE Institute is a support system on your journey of awakening, on a journey to well-being, and on a journey of fulfillment and freedom. We have very complex that people don't understand, because space have to look in an integrated, holistic manner and has to serve people at that moment. Another moment, it's gone. So therefore, it has to be in one location and complete. And that's why our spa is over 6,500 square meters, because everything. So we might show you some pictures and videos, but you only know the bowl. But the medicine is the soup. So I invite you to come and taste the soup. Some of you have come, and I specifically designed one program for this from this thing. And I said, look, this is not a regular. I do an introduction course, and we're offering called Awaken to the Wisdom of the Chinese Wisdom, Qi, the life force. Start from there. We'll give you a little background on your journey of East-West integration. But every program, besides your regular rejuvenation program, which is for the people who knows what to do, is really a journey program that's bespoke. Because you're unique. I'm unique. Everybody's in a different place. So we have to have people that are going on a journey made in small group in the same place, going through a special program. So, to wrap up, if you're in a wellness business, go on a journey yourself. And it's not about I drinking more, I drinking less, I exercise 5 times a day, I do this. No, there is no shit in there. That's just a journey. And everybody is in their own place. And don't judge, because judgment by itself destroys the journey. Just focus on yourself and don't compare. Be the industry we promote. And it's not about, do you smoke? I smoke. I smoke a cigar. I admit I smoke a cigar. It relaxes me. That's okay, because there are issues. But reduce less. Check up all the time. Make sure you're not dead, because there's no journey if you're dead. We all have neural wiring. We have to rewire it. We go on a journey. But this journey is ours, and we don't judge other people's journey and don't like, hey, you. No, just look at yourself. Put the fingers. It's you with the benefiter. So I hope I can become your journey mate, and we go that and change the world. Change the world. Thank you.